I don't think he's gonna be drafted very high.
No, I don't see him getting drafted real high, but just seeing like some of his shots, like his shot selection, bro, like, and he just looked so comfortable taking some of the shots he was taking, and it was just that it was some he was taking some hard shots, bro, like pull ups. I would have loved to seen the outcome of one of the shots he took. He had did like a turnaround three, but it got blocked. I just wanted to see if it was going to like even come close because I just want to see if that's in his bag or not.
Yeah, somebody brought up a point that he's listed at 6'2". So if we being realistic, we got to take that with a grain of salt with short guards because every short guard that's 6'2", realistically, bro, he close to 6 foot. It's like they call it's like the Jalen Brunson effect.
Yeah, but I
Like,
think I think I think the thing that's gonna help him or that helps him is um he has the heart of a lion. He's not scared to drive the ball in. He's not scared to take that jumper. I mean, come on, guys. We've seen him take a three with two defenders on him and still make the three, make the shot.
Yeah,
So I think his heart is what gets him there. You guys need to have another subject about y'all probably you young guys are probably gonna hate me saying this, how weak the NBA is. And when I
oh
say
man,
when I say weak, I mean it is boring. It is it is not interesting at all because
man, let me go
we,
ahead, go
we
ahead.
no. We if you guys are okay with having me back on at a later date, I'll be more than happy to sit out and have that discussion with you.
Oh, we can start some of the day. I just let me get the intro out the way, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of The Lounge. It's a remix because we were not able to get up with y'all Wednesday, man. It's Polo fault. Everything from here on out is gonna be Polo fault, by the way. But Polo just decided to have a crazy work schedule in the last like 2 weeks, so it's been kind of rough getting together. But man, it's a Sunday fun day, man. The final four games were last night, and I'm your host, Mr. J, the voice that makes the noise. And joining me as always is my main man, Mr. Els, Mr. Elroy. You know, a visionary himself.
it was
You know what I'm
good,
saying? A
y'all.
mastermind. Sixers might get their draft pick this year. He
Yes,
feeling good.
sir.
Florida Gators fan, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all. He been a Gators fan for a while. I can't even look. This the one sport I can't blast him on for not being a fan because he has been a Florida fan for a very long time. My main man is what's going on with
What's good, y'all? Back
you? And
again
then
with another
joining us for the first time, we got a special guest. Man, great man, my own life and in my own right, if I should say so myself. Uh, got a lot of words I can say about him, but I'm gonna just keep it short and simple. Y'all, we got my pops here this week, man. What's going on, pop?
Hey fellas, what's going on? Good to be on. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir. I told him, man, we had to invite to get an old school view on how we what we got going on, man. I'm hoping you comfortable and want to come back, but I feel like everything gonna be fine. Now we had started off talking about isn't his first name Willie? Isn't it Willie Clayton? Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Walter Clayton.
Walter
Walter
Clayton.
Walter Clayton Jr.
Yes, sir.
The problem that's like I think he's probably gonna be a pretty good player, but the problem that is gonna come up is we got to see what his real measurements are. That 6 foot guard might not cut it. It's only a handful of teams that are willing to commit to short guards anyway, especially in this version of the NBA. And mix that in with the fact that man, I think he's like 22 years old. So
Mm,
that's gonna be a big downfall of him because we all know from just experience that GMs love younger players. GMs will put stock in older guys, but it's only a handful of teams who can truly take advantage of an older talent. And that's kind of gonna be his two biggest things. He is hooping and he is hooping really great and at a high clip. But those are gonna be the two biggest downfalls for him. But I mean, man, he's a bucket. It's gonna take a certain type of system to believe in him. But man, he's just a bucket. Like you
plus,
said, sneaky assassin. He's
Yeah.
sneakily athletic. He got a jump shot. He's just a pure scorer. But we always talk about these one and done guys, but sometimes staying a few years in college is what gets you to that. You know what I'm saying? It's what
Yeah,
gets you to moments like this.
I can
Yeah,
agree with that.
yeah.
Like he's the only one. Like he's in it in the Elite Eight in the Final Four game. He combined for 64 points in the last two games.
Yeah, he been hooping.
And
Splits
he got him real quiet. Like nobody knew it until the game was over that he had 30 plus points.
splits have been crazy. He's had crazy splits. He was 11 for 18 in the
Yeah.
Auburn game, 7 for 7 from the line, 7
Hmm.
for 14 at Texas Tech game, 13 for 14 from the line. And man, just going back to that Final Four a little bit though. I think in Auburn's case, it wasn't much we could do. We couldn't stop them down the stretch. We shot
Well,
ourselves in the foot a
yeah.
few times. It wasn't nothing we could do. But
Well,
Duke,
my opinion with Auburn, Auburn's a great team. They had played great ball throughout the season. But if you rewind the tape and look at those games that they lost against
Duke,
school. Yeah, they lost
we
against
lost to
schools
Tennessee
that
and Florida.
had great 3 point shooters. Auburn does not have any outside shooters that can really stay consistent. And I mean, Broom is a beast, but you can ride your horse to death, and I think that's what happened. And it showed last night in that game against Florida because he was. I mean, if you look at the pace, if Florida was able to run the pace that they normally run, Auburn wouldn't have been able to keep up. They were gassed, man.
Yeah. What I will say about Auburn, their front court did stand out. I do like Broom and
Yeah,
that center Cardwell. He's
Hmm
nice too.
And
He's
yeah,
solid. Man.
my boy Chewy, he came through, man. My boy Chad Baker Mazera, he's been another sneaky type of talent for us this season. Pretty solid shooter. But man, we got to introduce making his triumphant return. What's going on, Polo? Man, I told you, man, they had Polo working 18-hour shifts.
What's
I,
up?
I promise you, I seen him, man. He was one of them guys doing that highway construction, man. They had my boy out there working 18 hours. You know when they be doing the construction, y'all know it'll be like three people working, and then it'd be like eight other dudes standing around.
I'm really,
Polo was one of the Polo was one of the three people that was out there working.
I'm really a superhero, man.
I told it, look, me and Els talk about this all the time, man. It'd be 12 guys out there doing construction, only like four of them be working.
Bruh.
Hey, 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 you watched Scarface before?
I have.
get my
You
bag.
need people like me.
What you know about Scarface?
Huh? You need people like me so you can point your finger and say that's the worker. I
Polo, man, you being an Auburn fan too, man. It's a sad day. I was mourning yesterday, man. I was about to cry.
want to talk about something else.
What?
I don't want to talk about basketball.
Well,
I don't want to talk about nothing with a tiger in it.
we got some, we got some other.
I might want to take
Well,
this
take the
shirt
shot.
off. You know what I'm saying?
Baby
Yeah,
Well,
Tigers.
we got some other stuff we can talk about
About
too, though,
accurate.
man. Because we gotta talk
nah,
about.
nah. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I caught the end of what Pop said, and I agree. I agree. Like they wasn't really battle tested. If you ask me, a
And I
lot of
think we
people.
did. We just couldn't beat them, man. Keep going over here. You're right, man. We could not beat the top of the top teams for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, then we lost to Florida twice, didn't it?
Lost to Florida twice.
Yeah,
We
that'll
lost
be
to
second time.
Tennessee, and we
Yeah.
lost to
Lost to
Duke.
Duke. So
Hmm.
at the end of the day,
Alabama beat us once too.
yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
what you was gonna expect to transpire. You know what I'm saying? When you turn to someone that's what me and you always talk about, it's a one trick pony. What you think you gonna do? Like look at Cooper Flag. We wouldn't think, even though that was questionable when it came down to Duke, that was a questionable call. I don't feel as if he fouled anybody, and I'm not a Duke fan at all. But still, like a lot of things transpired at first. When it came down to it, a lot of people said we lost to Florida last time because of the refs. But at the end of the day, you can't just put that on the refs because they shouldn't even be in that game.
Yeah.
If you feel as if you got what it takes, and I understand how it can transpire when it come down to officials playing a big part in the game, you shouldn't even let them people be in the game. If you
Mhm.
feel as if you way better than them, but after a while, it's easy to stop a one trick pony.
Cause man, we had like I love Chad, man, but he traveled on one of the threes that he hit. We had a few bad turnovers at the end of the game. I don't know how Clayton ended up on an island with Cardwell at one point towards the end of that game. Um,
Did, didn't one of y'all players was that y'all or the Duke game that hit like that three like with a few seconds left? That
that
was
was a
y'all,
Duke
right?
game because we weren't that close.
Okay,
It,
yeah,
it
you're
was
right,
it
you're
was
right.
close in
Yeah,
score, but it wasn't that good. And then we had the chance, like we ended up sending the right person on Florida to the line, and he was missing free throws. We got O-boarded on. So yeah, I think that I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this is the peak that Bruce Pearl is gonna have. I do think Bruce Pearl is gonna eventually get a team over that hump because I think now, we had our run of one and done guys, young guys going. Like we had Sharif Cooper go early. We had Jabari Smith Jr. go early. I think we're finally settling into a new norm with Auburn basketball. I'm very excited because this has happened with Alabama as well, where they're getting into the new norm of actually having guys for longer periods of time. Because everybody joked about, oh, Auburn got an old team. Auburn got an old team. I'm like, we were the oldest team in the tournament, but we were the number one seed and went to the Final Four. So maybe somebody else should have some older because look at another older team. Florida ain't no young team,
yeah.
if we're being honest. And Duke was the younger team, but that they weren't even the youngest team. They just had, the best freshmen.
Well,
And
Well,
they
and
lost to
I think that was Duke's problem as well. I mean, Cooper Flat can't take anything from him. The boy is a beast. But so many times I see them depend on him and ride on his shoulders. And last night it showed, that he's a good player, but he still has some growing to do. Because the shot that he missed, he never should have missed that shot. How many times have we seen him this season make that very shot with defenders defending him the way that they did last night?
and we gotta
well,
be honest though. What shot it in the foot for Duke was in the second half, Houston went on a 13-3 run over
Yeah,
about 6 minutes, and they went on a 15-3 run over the last 2 minutes of the game.
bro, that
So
is
that's
wild.
what killed it. In the second half alone, it was a what is this 28-6 run in the second half
Hmm.
alone. And credit to Duke because Duke was up that much to be able to hold on to a lead for that long. But man, you can't get outscored like that in the second half and expect anything good to come from it.
really, when even come to that situation, I wanna come back to what you were saying about Auburn, man. Getting over that hump is gonna be something hard to do because no matter what, you can have teams that look good, look like the best team, but our main problem, and I don't even want to say Auburn basketball. I feel as if the SEC has really became a blue chip now in basketball altogether. We used to be the people that was looked down on the SEC. We do good on that football field, but when you come to
Well,
you got top players that's coming to play basketball somewhere, they weren't looking to go towards
Oh
anywhere in the
no,
SEC. We really
yeah,
became a blue chip
Kentucky,
no.
name.
I agree with
It was
you.
the
Kentucky, yeah,
ACC. It was
Kentucky
the
was the
ACC.
one. Kentucky was the
Yeah.
one.
but Kentucky, but
One
but
exclusion.
Kentucky wasn't always like really with us, bro. To be honest with you, when it come down to
Yeah, yeah.
basketball,
Everybody put Kentucky in a whole different
Yeah,
category of
that's
their
a
own.
blue chip. That's a blue chip right there.
What
That's
they call
different
them? Blue
conversation.
bloods.
Like a blue chip, like it's a top school, like
Yeah, the
like
blue
like
blood
Duke, North
schools is what
Carolina.
Duke, North
These
yeah.
are teams
Carolina,
that people go
Kansas,
to.
and Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
these
you're
are
But
right,
teams.
Polo. You're right, Polo.
you
I
know
mean,
what
Yeah.
changed the game though,
it,
man? And I hate to be like this, but we want the players to get paid. NIL changed the game. The
I'm
colleges
not
with
gonna
the
say it's
most
the
money
NIL, Jay. I'm not gonna say it's the NIL
between
either.
that and the transfer portal though, the
Because
colleges
we
with
done
the
had a
most money
team.
gonna make the most noise.
We done had a team out of the SEC that won the championship back to back. Do you know what team that is?
You talking about for basketball?
Yeah.
Who won last year? Because I stopped watching after. We got
No,
eliminated
they talking
early.
about recent. You was young.
I know
Hawk
Kentucky
probably
won
know.
one. Kentucky won one
Florida.
when I was younger.
Florida.
Florida went back.
Yeah,
Florida went.
that was
Kentucky
during
done,
my that was
Florida.
during my.
Kentucky
I
done won
watched
since
that.
then though. Kentucky done won
yeah.
since then.
I'm not saying Kentucky haven't won.
Yeah,
I'm talking
no,
about
You
he
said back to
said
back.
back to back.
Oh, you talking
Yeah, he
about
said
back to
back to
backs?
back.
Okay,
Oh,
I
to
was gonna
yeah.
make
say
it
I know
clear.
Kentucky done won
And
since then.
also, I think they won. when they did that, they did it in football too.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
Right,
football and basketball.
Yep.
right,
And if
Ain't
that
gonna
don't
happen
bring
this year.
people that want to come play for you,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
For
what
But
the
I'm
nah,
saying?
Well,
that was Billy
for
Donovan though, man. Billy,
for a
I think
while,
coaching
yeah,
make a big difference.
for a while, Florida and Kentucky was the only SEC teams that like they were checking for in basketball.
True
But
enough.
Billy Donovan did that to Florida, and I would be arguing to say Calipari did it for Kentucky too.
Tyler
For
Perry
sure.
Them
did do it
coaches
for
put them
Kentucky.
schools on the map for
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah,
100%.
Them
yeah.
coaches put them
But
schools because
being from
Donovan was an NBA coach.
being from the old school, yeah, Polo, you were spot on, bro. Saying that now the SEC looks like those blue chip schools, because back in the day, man, it was always the ACC. The
Yeah,
Yep.
ACC
definitely.
had all of the horses,
They was
and if
loaded.
yeah, man, you look back now. I think when the tournament first started, the SEC had at least what 7 or 8 teams in the tournament.
No, we had 14 out of 16 teams made it.
Okay, all right. Well, see, there you go. There you go. Yes,
You got to
and
take
that
that
was
with a grain of salt, though.
well. You can, but I think it goes back to what Els was talking about. It's the- it may not be totally NIL money. I think kids actually want to come to school, go to those schools now because the
Yeah.
programs are better. You know.
Yeah, because like for example, we just added in Oklahoma and Texas, and both of them made the tournament too this year. That's what I'd take some of that with a grain of salt.
They added to the SEC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Texas is.
Texas and
Yeah.
Oklahoma both in the
Oh,
SEC
that's
Texas and
now.
crazy.
Oklahoma.
What there was Big 12?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they
Big
was.
12 ain't really a
L,
conference no more.
what you been doing, man?
No, not the
Bro.
Big 12. They were Big 10 or Big.
Nobody.
No. What they mixed up the conferences so bad, bro. These
For him
conferences are
not to
so
know that
confusing.
they was in the SEC after we done had a whole year of football and we done talked about them being in the SEC and you not knowing they was in the SEC. What you been doing, man?
Bro, I don't even
Yeah,
watch
because
football like that.
they moved them all over. Remember Texas? This was their first year of football in the SEC.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
and
That's
it's
right. That's
it's
right. That's
no
right.
it's no
I
more
do
like
remember
it's
that.
no Pac-12 in basketball anymore. Pac-12
Yeah,
don't
that's
have a
right.
basketball conference anymore.
Yeah.
They have a football, but they barely got a football. I think they only got like 4 teams in the Pac-12 right
There's
now.
like 3 or 4. Yeah.
It's 3, but they adding a team this year to the
Yeah.
Pac-12.
I got a question for you guys though. Do you think USC would have played better had Juju been healthy? Do you think
Yes.
UConn
Yeah.
would? I agree.
Oh, I think UConn would have still won, but they would have did a whole lot
I
better.
don't
I
know.
don't
I
think
Hey,
they
don't
would
know.
have won.
I
I don't
don't
know,
know if
Page,
bro.
they would have won
Page a
that. I
bucket,
don't know.
bro.
Page a bucket, yeah.
Yeah,
You
But
can be
that
a
Page,
whole
bucket. See,
team,
I
bro.
always been a bucket.
but
yeah,
Yeah.
that whole UConn
absolutely.
team was nasty this year
I
though.
put it this way. We would have won if Florida top player went down too.
Oh yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, I hate it for Juju because now if she messed her leg up, she got to go back to school because of the WNBA rules.
Right.
So they got to go back to school, and that's kind of crazy.
I mean, but realistically, she
I
probably
don't
got,
see it as being crazy.
she could be making more money at school than in the W.
She is,
Thank
but
you.
I'm saying the W trying to make more money
Well,
anyway. They need to
yeah.
lower
So
the age requirement. The age
yeah,
requirement is crazy.
yeah,
Jay,
they're
hear me
actually the
out. Hear
W
me
is
out what I'm about to
actually
say.
they're actually renegotiating those girls' contracts, and they're
Mhm.
looking at how they can bring more money into the WNBA.
Get it younger, because there's no reason
Yeah.
you should be 22 before you
No,
go to the
leave
W.
it where it's at.
Man, you got to be
Because
like 21 or 22 to go to the
leave it where
WNBA.
Jay, you probably not too familiar with gambling, but you start off small and you go big. Let them keep doing what they doing. Cause if you trying to just put all your eggs in the basket right now, man, you gonna fall, you gonna crumble.
You don't
Right
feel like
now,
they go ahead.
right now as they coming in, they building brands. I'm talking about brand
You got a good
names.
point. You got a good point there. You
You,
got a
you
good
are,
I'm,
point.
I'm talking about like Pepsi. It's a brand name. They stand
Yeah.
behind it. They guarantee it.
I mean,
You
yeah,
know
Well,
but
what
I
I'm
they
saying?
well,
also see both sides because you could have because now, not saying God forbid, if Juju isn't the same after this, she been wasting away on a college team versus she could have went pro. She could have went. She
Look at
probably wouldn't
Paige.
have went one. She would have been top 5
Look
last
at
year.
Paige. She broke her leg. She
That's what I'm
came
saying.
back.
But
yeah.
She
I
that made
understand,
her
but
a
it's no
dog.
guarantee you come back though. It's no guarantee you come back.
Okay, now hear me
But
out.
but I
You
tell you guys this. I tell you guys this. You watch the transition into the WNBA. It
Thank you.
started with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. You watch how it transitions over into a league where you have to have those big sponsors
And
And you
I
because
got
feel bad.
every
And
you
and
look
I
at you
feel
look at the
bad for
girls
the.
coming out now. I mean they are beasts. They're just as good as Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
yeah, look at Howard. Look at Lil Boston. Look at
Yes.
Caitlin Clark. These
I'm gonna be
people
honest though.
really
We
look at
and
what. Hear me out real quick. Look what South Carolina been doing. Look what South Carolina coach been doing. These
Yeah.
people are brand names. We're talking about them right now. 5 years ago, can you tell me anybody that was on a WNBA team?
Asia
No, you
Wilson,
can't.
Asia
No, you
Wilson,
can't.
cause she been.
We
Hey,
sitting here
I ain't gonna
talking
lie.
about them right
I
now.
feel. I,
I
I
can't
know.
tell you,
I'm saying
bro.
I feel bad for players like Asia Wilson though, who like Asia Wilson, Skylar Diggins, all them who actually been putting in work. They just couldn't get the support. Asia Wilson putting up a GOAT case for the W right now. I don't
She's
know
a
if people
dog.
realize.
She's a
I don't
dog.
know if people realize it, but she could probably walk away being I don't
Sarah
know how you
Swoops.
classify GOAT for the WNBA. I kind of know the top tier. You got like Maya Moore,
Whoa.
DT,
She not even
Sarah.
Maya Moore not even on their status. What you talking about?
What you
Hey,
mean, Mike? What? Come
now
on, dog.
I don't watch the W, but I'm just gonna throw a name out there and just tell me if she's somewhere up there. What about Lisa Leslie?
Yeah, she up there too.
Oh,
She'll be up there
definitely,
too.
definitely.
Yeah, Sarah
But
Swoops,
that's
Lisa Leslie.
Well, yeah.
And,
bro. You can't discredit Maya
She
though, bro.
bird.
You cannot
she ain't
discredit.
do it long enough, man.
I mean, she
I watched
retired. Did you
this.
see what
You
she
just
did? Did you see what
come
she
on,
did
man.
while she was playing?
She did good. I'm not saying she not, but people that you want to name realize quotes. I'm gonna take my girl on from boxing name Quote, greatest woman of all time. You got household name like Lisa Leslie.
Hmm.
You got
I would like to argue.
Cheryl Swoops,
I like to argue Asia though over everybody right now. I like to
and you
argue that.
got Asia.
I
That's
like to
it.
argue that.
These are generational talents. You got other people
Yeah.
that's valid, but these are generational talents.
What about Maya? I gotta put the
If
reason I
Maya
gotta
would
throw
have
Maya
played
more in
there,
there.
if Maya left for
Yeah,
love,
Maya, she retired, but bruh,
she
four
retired for
time
love.
four time
She
champ.
stopped loving the game and loved the
Hold on,
convict.
look, 1 time MVP, 6 time All Star, 7 time All NBA, 2 time All Defense, 4 time champion, 3 time All Star Game MVP, 2 time Finals MVP. Like, come on, dog. She retired. She only played like eight
Two
years.
times?
Yeah, she only played like 8 years.
How many championships she won?
4.
4? It's not enough.
Come on, dog.
Hey,
Come on, dog. No championships in 8 years is crazy. But now we were talking about this. I just kind of want to highlight Asia Wilson though because I read this the other day and it was crazy to me. Um, Asia Wilson in how many seasons she been in? She's been in since 2018. So what's that? 6 or 7 seasons? 7 years?
It's been six, six,
7,
six
8.
seasons.
You said
In
17?
18.
17, yeah,
Oh,
18,
Yeah,
six
18.
seasons.
So she's been in 6 years, 3 MVPs, 6 All-Stars, 2 championships. She done won every defensive award, 4 time All Defense, 5 time All NBA, and a Finals MVP. That's crazy for 7 years.
she really a dog, bro. I watch
That's
her
crazy.
play.
She
But
got
hey,
she
I'm gonna
got
be
a
honest with
statue in
you.
South Carolina.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The young girl coming up on dog. This is a
I don't
whole
think they
different
gonna
game. Boy, you don't watch this. I watch this, man.
I'm saying I don't think they're just gonna
You got
dog her.
women.
It's gonna be
You
hard to
got
dog.
women breaking the scoring record in Duke for basketball. I'm talking
Nah,
about
this
girl
next
or
generation
boy.
of women gonna be crazy though.
And it was 4 years ago. A girl named Howard came out shooting more 3-pointers than anybody that ever played, even more than JJ Redick. Like
JJ Redick.
these names are different now, bro. Folks paying attention, bro. You got girls' games that's packed, bro. They used to give away free tickets to go to a girl game at the men's game. They able to come off now and have their own brand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got statues of these women. 5 years ago, you could walk right past. Oh, what's up? What's up, man? What's up, Maya? Hey,
When they knew who she
ain't your name
was.
Maya? Yeah, my name Maya. And she probably was working at Sears or something.
Wow.
Now these
Hold on,
people
let's see
different.
counts.
No, it's not counsel. I'm being honest. Women had to go overseas in order to make money back then. These women don't have to go overseas. They got the investments. Like Flo, the girl that play out of LSU. She don't even want to leave the league.
No, he doesn't.
She don't even
Yeah.
want to leave college. Angela Reese didn't even want to leave college.
But they make more money.
Yeah, like why
They're
would
making
you?
way more money in college. And then you got to keep in mind this, Jay. A lot of people speak on the simple fact of, oh, they got hurt. But you know another thing people hated? The way people doing this 2 years and they be in the league for 1 year. You one and done. You got your money. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You ain't let your body develop. It's over with for you. We ain't got
Nah,
time
but
to spend all this money
with the
on it.
guys,
That's
with the
going
men
on
though,
with
it's
the men.
different. With the men
I
though,
was
it's different
different.
because
different.
it's some like with the men, it's so many different ways you can get to the league to the NBA. That's why for men it's different. Perfect example. Perfect example. Some of the biggest stars in the NBA right now didn't touch a college. That's why I say it's different. It's different for the NBA. NBA a whole different thing. Luka was playing pro at 14. Luka didn't go to
different.
college. Giannis didn't go to college. Jokic didn't go to college.
They was overseas players.
But that's what I'm saying. Some guys wouldn't have. Some guys would not have benefited from staying 3-4 years in college at all.
But at the same time, these players have been professional players in a whole other country.
I can take it back. Players who hit their
Ricky
stride
Rubio.
once they got to the league. Anthony Edwards would not have been no better if he stayed at Georgia 4 years. The Thompson twins would not have been because they can't. You're tripping. They came straight from OT. They went straight to the league. Yeah, I'm not entertaining that today. They went straight to the league from high school. Technically, they would not have been no better going to college. But you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of guys. Like now, some guys probably need to go to college. Jalen Green might have need to go to college. He cooking now, but Jalen Green might have need to go to college for a year.
We can say
It's just a lot of guys that do.
Put Scoot Henderson with him.
Yes, Scoot should have went to school.
Scoot.
Yeah.
Scoot problem was, and I will stand behind this to this day. G League Ignite kind of messed Scoot up because Scoot never learned how to play point guard. Scoot would be perfect if he was a 2 or a 3 because all he got to do is get to the rim and play defense.
I think Scoot got an ego problem. To be honest with you, bro.
He probably do, but Scoot never learned how to play point guard, and that's his problem. He never learned how to play point guard.
You guys think
Be high.
helps the players or hurts the players?
Say it again, Dad.
So you guys think the G League helped them or hurt them coming into
G League Ignite hurt. G League Ignite was a two-edged sword. It helped them because it got them with financial advisors and it helped them learn how to manage their money and survive after basketball. But it hurt them because you're just going out there and hooping. G League Ignite never had any expectation.
So there was really no organization to the art of the game versus them setting them up
Publicity.
set for once they got there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but to our credit though, a lot of the guys that went through G League Ignite were gonna be top picks regardless. Like some of the ones that did it, like for example, Jalen Green was gonna be a top pick regardless. Buzelis was gonna be a top pick regardless. It's guys like that who we knew were gonna be fine, but it's also guys like Scoot who went to G League Ignite who probably should have went and played in a college system. That's why I say it's like a double-edged sword with G League Ignite. The biggest, my biggest testament to G League Ignite though was it let you know who really wanted to do it, and what I mean by that is it gave you an NBA style schedule. You played against some physical guys. That's why we see the G League Ignite guys who made it.
Thought about something.
I was gonna say the G League Ignite guys who actually made it. We see who really wanted to be there, and I will say that.
I had to take off that do-rag, man. I got a good idea, man. I just thought about something. I bet the NBA is not gonna like what's about to transpire when it come down, because now you about to have more kids staying in college.
Oh no, they're not gonna like it.
Oh,
And
no,
I'm gonna tell you why.
That money.
You can get money in college already. You can be a millionaire before you graduate. So,
For sure. A multi-millionaire.
do you not understand how big of a brand you can build in college if you stayed?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest though.
So Polo, to your point, Polo, what's going to have to happen is because we all know the rookies start at the very, very bottom.
Right.
So they're going to have to bring that rookie salary up.
The rookie contracts ain't that bad for lottery picks.
Well,
everybody
What
else
about the
is kinda
people
rough.
after that though?
Absolutely. That's
For everybody else is kind of rough, but lottery
Yeah.
picks
So
always been tough.
if I'm not a lottery pick, but I'm making millions of dollars off of the
And
NIL money in college. What's going to compel me to leave that and then even make my game better? So when I do sit down at the table with any of the owners, I can say, look, you look at my stats for the past 3-4 years, on top of what I've made financially. How can you compete with that?
You can
They're going
talk
to have
different. You feel me?
right,
You can
But it's
right.
not
talk
it's
different.
not gonna stop
You
those
see what
one
I
and
brought to
done.
your school?
But it's not gonna stop like certain one and dones. It's not gonna stop them. Just being honest, it's not gonna stop them.
It's gonna stop them, Jay, because a lot of people don't
Yeah,
need to be a one and done. Okay, put it
It's
this way.
not
right.
though.
Put it this way. Put it this way. Straight up. You ever heard the term blue chip players?
Yeah,
If you haven't paid attention, a lot of blue chip players are going to one school. I'm gonna
Yeah,
give you one of the first super teams, and we talk about this team over and over again, and they lost to a subpar team, players that's probably not even in the league right now. The old Kentucky team with Devin Booker.
yeah.
Devin Booker didn't even start, right?
yeah,
say they
No, he
lost in
Come
the
didn't.
on.
finals though. They lost in the final four though.
They lost. I don't care how close you was, you didn't seal the deal.
But none of them guys should have went back to
LeBron
school
went
though.
to so many championships and he lost. That's the
all those
whole
players.
GOAT conversation about, right? But
Yeah.
now you got players going to one school and we all can get money. Look what Flo and Angela Reese was doing. Like, this the NIL thing. It's bigger.
But
It's bigger than us, baby.
you can't compare it to women though. You can't compare it to women because the women tournament does not get competitive until the Elite Eight. I will stand behind that every year. It's only a handful of women teams that are really just elite level programs. There's nothing against women basketball,
You only
but
got a few women basketball teams in college anyway.
no,
I,
no, no.
I got a
They got
question
go ahead.
No, they don't.
just to make sure we're on the same page. So you saying that that Kentucky team, some of them players would have benefited for staying in longer?
What you think?
I
I
don't
think
think so.
so. I think those twins, like those
The
Oh yeah,
Harrison twins.
yeah, they
yeah.
could have stayed.
Those
They,
twins, keep this in
People,
mind. Those twins was a household name as freshmen. They stayed there 3 years, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
mhm.
What is?
So, so the
Nowhere
reason
to be
for,
found.
What
but
Willie
the
Collins
reason for
Stein at?
He
No,
playing. He
no,
playing like
I
Puerto
think
Rico,
but he got laced. I think he'll still have a job.
bro. But I'm gonna be honest though, bro. Okay, you can say that, but look at the other. Look at Cat. Cat
What
was a
about
freshman.
Trey Lyles? They had Trey Lyles too.
Yeah, Trey Lyles still in the league.
He had a job for. Oh, he still got a job.
Trey Lyles still got a job, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
He went to
Devin
He went to the
Devin
Phoenix.
Yeah,
Devin
so
Booker
Trey.
still got a job, but
No,
that's
but
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
just think about it. The NIL deal was big back then. A lot of people wouldn't have to, because you got to keep in mind, a lot of kids only did one and done for one reason. So they can better their community and better their life. I'm tired of my mama going through what she going through, just
For sure.
watching me play basketball. I'm all they got. Now it came to a point to where I'm a household name. My mama got money. Look what Travis Hunter just did with his little brother.
Hold on, it's not
and
gonna stop one and done.
let's be real. Let's be real here. If you look at the reason for the one and done season, it was because those students wanted to. If they were good enough to make it to the drafts and get into the NBA, then they did that because they needed that money. They wanted that money.
For
But
sure.
it's to me,
That's why.
it's not all money because what would okay, perfect example of another guy. What does Cooper Flag gain from going back to Duke? Besides
Well,
risking
the
tearing his
difference,
knee up.
A
but the difference.
championship.
But don't nobody care about college championships, dog. Not like a lot of guys do, but a lot
So
of them
let's
don't.
back up. Let's back up. Cooper Flag is not a good example. You know why
Yeah,
Cooper
that
Flag is not a
one.
good example?
Okay, okay.
Cooper Flag comes from money. So it's not gonna make a difference to him whether he goes now or he waits 2 more years before he
All
even
right, so
goes.
I go
That's a
back
good
some.
point.
What was Anthony Davis gonna gain from staying in college another year? He was one and done.
Look at his eyebrows. You know he ain't have it
Besides that,
together.
bro, Anthony Davis won the championship, won freshman player of the year, all the awards you can win, #1 draft pick, and made Team USA coming out of college.
That's like Kevin
But
Durant. You're
it
naming
goes back
names that was ready.
I'm
right,
saying
and it
though,
goes
but
back
Everybody's
to
not
money.
ready.
okay, even some guys that weren't ready. Let me think. Even some guys that weren't ready.
Who's them?
Jalen Green didn't go to college though. They don't count. Um, it's plenty of guys who aren't ready that leave school though.
And that's because they tired of what they family going through.
But it's not
Yeah.
even that though, bro. Sometimes the bigger picture is gonna be the bigger picture, regardless. It's nothing you can do about it.
You want a bigger picture to go to the league and people sell you high. Keep in mind, and even though my boy been playing for over 20-some years, this was one of the only players that they done made, what's the word for it? That he done surpassed everything they expected from him. And that's LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
How many players since then came out of high school straight to the championship? How many players? How many? I mean, not championship, but straight to the NBA. How many players before
it happened
then?
like 2 years after. Dwight Howard went straight from high school.
Who?
Don't act like that. Don't do that.
Say the name. Say the name.
I said Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard came out of high school.
Yes, Dwight Howard didn't go on step on the college campus.
And he was a star. He was ready.
I was just finna say.
You got players that already, but you got players that
J.R. Smith came straight out of high school.
And J.R. wouldn't have been nothing.
J.R. won but that's the thing though. Everybody done and I hate this narrative. Everybody's ceiling in superstar.
I agree with you.
Everybody's ceiling in the superstar.
Everybody's ceiling not a superstar, but you can become a superstar.
Somebody who probably wasn't ready but left and ended up fine. Kyrie Irving was not ready. Kyrie Irving played 12 games.
Boy, you crazy as a mug.
Kyrie Irving played 12 games and tore his ACL.
I don't want to talk to you if you feel like Kyrie Irving wasn't ready.
Tore his ACL, coming off of ACL.
And he's still tearing his ACL. I mean, he's still tearing his ACL.
He was
still tearing his ACL.
That was the argument.
He's still a household name.
He might not have been ready to go. Whatever.
He was injured, but he was ready.
But that's what I'm saying, guys. It's a lot of guys who weren't looked at as.
You heard what he told Kobe? You looking at me like I'm a kid. I'm gonna do you something.
So here's your top 10 best one and done players: Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Anthony Davis.
Yep.
Kevin Love.
Yep.
You got Michael Beasley.
Yep.
And you got Sharif. You got Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
Yep.
And you got John Wall.
Yep.
Derrick Rose.
Yep.
He said Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Excuse me real quick, Pop. What you know about him, man?
Come on, man.
This back in your time now. You know he from my city.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you got Greg. You got Craig Odom.
Greg
Odom.
No, that's not his fault. That's not his fault.
No.
That's not his fault.
Wait.
Greg Oden was like that.
The last one you guys probably would argue too is OJ Mayo.
No.
OJ had to go.
Ready. He was ready.
OJ was cool.
OJ was ready. I'm talking about Mayo was ready.
I will argue Greg Oden because college low key hurt Greg Oden, if we being honest, because they didn't find
I only like talking to you, OJ.
Look, one of his legs. One of his legs is longer than the other ones. Why did it take you to get out of college for him to find out? That's why he had so much pressure on the leg. They got
look at Embiid.
What are you talking about? Embiid with the college.
Bro? Leave my man.
I'm just messing with him.
Hey, since we talk, I'm glad Carmelo and Dwight Howard got brought up. Man, the class of 2025 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame kind of pushing stuff forward. Let's hear. Let me call out some names: Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard, the two headliners of this class. Shout out to them guys for real. Also from the WNBA, Sue Bird, Maya Moore. I had to put that out there.
Bird, Sue better than Maya.
Sylvia Flowers. Billy Donovan is also in there as well. Okay. Somebody that got in.
I would
Coach K.
That.
Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
Because it's people. So the thing. Let me finish this and I'll tell you. Billy Donovan. Coach K. Coach K got in.
And I can see that.
Like, how couldn't you?
Yeah.
If you did like that, you just a hater.
The thing about it with people like Billy Donovan and like even I use Arvydas Sabonis as an example, and even somebody it's the basketball Hall of Fame.
We don't even know.
Please be quiet. If you don't know who Arvydas Sabonis is, exit my panel. Exit to
you
the
said
left.
His name wrong first off.
It's Arvydas Sabonis, but it's the basketball Hall of Fame, so it's not just, you know what I'm saying? it's not just the NBA, and that's what a lot of people get confused. It's not just the NBA.
Naismith. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so that's why guys, and I kind of respect it with the Billy Donovan thing. The two, then he got two natties at Florida, coaching the league for a little minute, and I believe he was on that coaching staff for 2008 with Team USA. If
A
I'm not
lot
mistaken.
of the
The
college
whole
coaches is. I got one
wait,
question to ask you. I got one
Oh,
question to ask everybody. Just hear me out real quick. What player you know that was a great player in college? I'm talking about you felt as if he was going to make a huge impact as soon as he got there.
let me answer
But,
first.
okay. I know what he's gonna say. Keep going.
Yeah.
I know his answer, but keep going. Keep going, Polo.
but it didn't
All right.
transfer.
So coming out of Florida, bro, you could not tell me nothing, bro. Me and my home, I used to, bro. I'm low key embarrassed to say this up here. I used to argue Corey Brewer was gonna be better than Kevin Durant.
Let that one sink in.
Yeah, we just going to keep talking. We're going to talk to somebody else. What you think, Jay?
Let that one sink in because I knew his answer.
Jay, what was
So my
Corey
guy,
Brewer?
Yes, bro.
Boy,
crazy.
Yes, bro. Hey, he was hooping in Florida, bro.
you
Both
all right?
years, bro. Yeah, I
Everything
know.
all right with you, Ed? Like
Everything
everything
good,
all right
bro.
with your life and everything?
Yeah, my homie, he was
You,
like, I'm telling you,
how
he
long you
telling
thought
me,
about that? Did you even
bro,
think about what you said before you said it?
bro. I was a super fan at the time, bro.
All right. All
You was
right.
in love, boy. You sound
My,
like a fool.
Man, listen.
mine's a little bit newer. Mine's a lot of not a lot of bit new. Mine's a little bit newer. Um, Trayvon Duval, he went to IMG Academy in high school, was like the number 5 player in his class. Went to Duke, started the majority of the season at his 1 year at Duke. And bro, I just knew Trayvon Duval was gonna be one of the ones. He was a big guard, 6'3", very athletic. He couldn't shoot the 3 ball as well as you would like for the way that the NBA was transitioning,
Yeah.
but he was still a solid defender, could pass. And Trayvon Duval played 3 games in the NBA.
Mm.
Yeah. He played 3 games in it.
I,
Boy, was
I,
I
I'm
wrong.
gonna I'm I'm let y'all go ahead and answer because I got an old school I'm gonna throw in.
That's why I asked that question, because I know you about to come with some heat.
I would just say, yeah, I just knew Trayvon Duval was gonna be like that. He played 3 games for the 2018-2019 Bucks, and I don't know what happened to him.
You know who I'm about to say? Jabari Parker.
No, you can't do that though. Jabari had a solid career though.
You
Jabari had a
crazy.
solid career though.
You can't tell
Jabari,
me what to do when I want to do what I want to
he
do.
was solid though, bro. I don't think you could count that because Jabari played like what 12 years in the league or so.
Jabari Parker and Andrew Wiggins, when they was in the height of them being
I
them,
know, but bro.
players
Jabari
that should never went one and done.
oh,
Now you got one losing his old lady to somebody on his team, and the other one,
that was a lie,
what?
by the way.
That wasn't no lie.
That was a lie.
That wasn't no lie.
That was a lie.
You playing with a
That was a lie.
championship team and you just walk around here saying, it's only got to be one reason.
Bro, that
Somebody
Jabari
else
Parker
in your
one hurt
basketball
though,
rim.
bro.
That's it.
That
You got
Jabari
somebody
Parker
else
one
dunking
hurt
in your
though.
basketball goal.
It hurt though, bro, because Jabari averaged 20 at one point in time, bro. That Jabari Parker would hurt though, bro, because
Jabari came in here with hips like an offensive lineman. He should never been there.
Yeah.
He was not ready.
Oh, weak.
But
Hey, I got
Jabari played 8 years in the
was
league though,
that boy
dog.
was never able to hula hoop. Never. Boy, big, man.
I
got
can't do another one, bro, because I can't
an
give you
honorable
Jabari
mention,
Parker.
bro.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Jaleel Okafor.
Oh yeah, he had.
I don't like you, L. I don't feel like you. Some
Bro.
people actually do play the game because they love the game. Jaleel, I like what he did.
Well, that must have been the only reason he played because he loved
Yeah.
it because he didn't do crap.
Does Isaiah Isaiah Crowell, does he count? The guy that
What
that
happened to Ty Creed?
Huh?
My bad, that Coach Carter.
If I'm not, I think not Crowell. That's the one that played for Georgia. What's his name?
Played for
Isaiah
Georgia.
Austin. Isaiah Austin. I don't know if he
Oh.
counts but Isaiah Austin was supposed to be like he was probably gonna be really good in the pros, but what happened was he lost his eyesight.
Mm.
He
I
had
don't
some,
want to speak about that because
yeah, I don't know if that counts, but he was one that I
That's
just knew
fine.
Isaiah was gonna be one of the ones. He was nice.
We're gonna leave that one alone. Who you got, Pop? Who you got?
Okay, mine is a Duke University graduate.
Okay.
Okay,
He
JJ.
came in the league. He came in the league in 92, 93. Started with the Timberwolves. He went through six teams. He, his average points per game started at 18.2, and it every single season or
He
every team
depleted.
he went to, he depleted. Who y'all think I'm talking about? He
It ain't
knows
I
Christian
don't.
Leighton, is it?
Is it Grant?
that's him. That's him.
Who?
Christian
Christian
Leighton.
Leighton?
Christian Leighton.
Well, at the same time, you ready for what I'm about to say? And it might open up the gates for this conversation as far as greatness. Because I know me and you gonna have a different opinion. Basketball wasn't basketball back then.
Wait.
Thank you. Let's go.
I think
Alrighty.
I think
Alrighty.
I think Polo has bumped his head. He was dropped on
I
his
don't know
head
that. I might be on Polo side.
Ain't nothing
I
wrong
think
with
it's a
him.
different. It's a
You
different game.
cannot compare. It is a different
It's
game.
a different game.
Y'all playing like, excuse my language, like girls.
Nah,
Oh,
nah,
You can't
nah.
oh,
hand check.
we didn't have
You
that
Nah.
much
can't hand
skill,
check.
so we had to
You
punch
can't
somebody.
hand check.
We couldn't guard him, so we
Look,
had to punch
look,
him.
I'm about to
look.
We
clothesline
had
him,
to
Yeah,
boy.
I
punch
ain't
him
gonna lie to
out
that.
because we couldn't
Hey,
The,
stop
y'all,
him.
the
He
they
was going
did
to
problem
the
punch him,
I have,
Dad.
hole.
the
Go ahead,
problem I
Pop. Go
have,
ahead, Pop. Hold on.
the,
Go
pro-
ahead.
the problem I have is it's a 3 point game. Why does it have to be 3 point? You got some great mid
Mid
range
range.
shooters. So why not utilize the whole court? Everybody wants to come down and shoot 3 pointers. This is my
But
argument
some
here.
teams do utilize it.
Everybody,
Some
what,
teams utilize
why,
it.
Hold
why?
on.
But it
Somebody.
makes the game. It makes the game boring when you got what game was I watching the other night? I had to stop watching it because it was 135 to 145.
Your
That
glasses
means
on?
nobody. That means nobody's playing defense. Everybody's just going
Defense.
down, putting the ball up.
But
No,
to me
son, you
though,
can't tell me, man.
does that not speak to the development of the game itself versus they're not playing defense? Because it's some
No,
key moments where guys are getting locked up. Like it's key
no,
moments where they're getting locked up. I'm gonna
no,
be honest.
not
You're not gonna contain you because you can say that back from your day. You weren't gonna contain Michael Jordan on every play back in your day.
no,
Right.
you
You weren't.
weren't. But there were some players who did really good at it. I'm a Heat fan, but I love Philadelphia 76ers too.
Man, that's my type
And
of
and
guy.
and, and let's talk about that. Y'all talk about Jordan did get shook. There was one player shook Jordan not once but twice in a game.
Allen
Embarrassed
Iverson,
him.
I got the jersey back there
Yes,
right
sir.
now.
Yes, sir. So it can be done. It's about playing
That
defense,
name
man.
that you said, that name
He
that
don't
you
play no
said
defense.
gave
Though. What
Jordan
he just said.
buckets.
He don't play no defense though.
Absolutely.
The name he just
Absolutely.
said don't play no defense though. I don't know. Defense is a team thing now though. Pop. I'm just gonna be real. Just because we're Heat fans and we see it, defense is a team thing now. It's not a. It's not a what because the best defensive teams in the
Okay,
league are
I'll give
still
you
get
that.
scored on.
So, Pop, you
I'll
did
give
this
you
to your
that.
son?
No, he was brought in this world that way. I'm sorry.
Man, my
I'll
pops the
give
reason I'm a Heat fan, bro. You
I
always
I,
knew
hate.
it. It had
You
to be a
always
reason.
hate.
Don't
That cause my
nobody
pop know
grow
what
up
he
and be like,
talking
I
about.
want to be a Heat fan. What in the world wrong with you?
I'll give you guys. Defense is a team. It's a team game. That's for the team. When does the teams nowadays start working together to play defense? In college, I love it.
Yeah,
If we look
it's
at
competitive.
we look at this year's March Madness, man, it's one of the greatest that's been played because there was so much defense. The guys went back to fundamentals. What I love about Florida, man, those boys play defense. They play fast. They play hard. They play to the back. I mean, they play to the rim. So anytime somebody's taking an outside shot, they got at least two or three defenders drawing in to
Okay,
get that rebound.
okay. I'm
OG,
glad you said that. Glad you said that. The thing is, in college, and I'm not trying to be that guy. This
you
is
are.
why I'm probably gonna turn out like that guy.
You are.
In college, in my opinion, you have what maybe two guys you really need to be keyed in on. So of course it's gonna be better defense being played because I can throw doubles at you. I can throw different looks because at the end of the day, out of the four, if say us four on the court,
It's
Polo could be for sure going to the league next year, number one draft pick, and I could be an accountant in the next 2 or 3 years
Son,
because I'm
son, you
not
know the problem?
understanding that level of
Yeah,
basketball.
you
And
know the problem. You know what the problem is with the NBA nowadays? It's
not everybody's a
it,
star, but everybody
no,
can
no,
get a
no, no,
bucket.
no, no, no. It has become a business for the players. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that they don't need. It does not need to be a business for them. But come on, dude. You played this game as a kid because you loved it, not because somebody was paying you. You played more defense when you were in high school or in college. That's what got you to the pros. It wasn't the fact that you could go out there and score as many buckets as you wanted to. It was because you were in a offense and a defense that worked on fundamentals and you were fundamentally sound.
But
Oh,
pops, I ain't gonna lie though. If we look at
I
if we
need a
look
shot.
at the top, if we look at the top, I say the top 12 defenses in the NBA right now. Every
Tell
one,
me the top 12, bro. Tell me
the
the
top
top
12
12.
from 12 from you want me to start from? I go from 12 to one. 12
Give it to me.
Bucks, 11 Grizzlies, 10 Heat, 9 Pistons, 8 Cavs, 7 Warriors,
You
6
must put the
Celtics.
heat up there.
That I'm looking at the defensive efficiency ratings.
Okay.
This
Oh
ain't me.
Lord. Oh Lord.
5 Timberwolves, four,
That's the other problem. We
four
got
Rockets.
science.
But just
We got
listen.
science and statistics
Just listen.
all right.
Listen.
It's
Y'all
good,
not hearing
man.
it. Y'all not hearing it.
So come
Look,
on, son.
every
Come
I
on,
every
like
man.
defense,
him, man. I
every
like him.
defense, every defense that is in the top half of the league is anchored
It's
by
because
one defender
it's
and a
because some
no.
scientist sitting behind a desk doing some
That
That's
never
some.
played.
calculations.
That never played the
It's
game
not
at
no
all.
Never
Never
played
had
the game.
love for it. He just went to
Never
school.
had.
Els.
He just
Okay,
went to
He
school
Els.
for
don't.
You
He
watch
nothing.
a
don't.
lot
He
of
don't. He
basketball.
don't.
Hold on.
He don't
I'm
even
gonna
know
use
what. He
Els
don't
as
even
an
know what a.
example.
He don't even know what a locker room
No,
smell
he
like
was
in the
L's
NBA.
example because he
Els.
thought MB
No,
was the best
no.
player in the league
Listen.
at one point.
Listen.
He
I want
was.
Listen.
something else.
Listen.
What are you
No,
talking about?
listen, bro. Els. I'm finna name these teams. Can you tell me who the anchor defender is on these teams? If I name
Uh,
these teams to you.
let's give it a try.
All right, go ahead.
Bucks, anchor defender.
Giannis.
Antetokounmpo.
Grizzlies, anchor defender.
Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
Heat,
I
anchor
go. I
defender.
go there.
Bam.
Nobody.
Pistons,
There you go.
anchor defender. You may not be able to, but I
The
can tell you.
dude that just beat up the
The
dude,
center. Is
Isaiah.
it that center?
It's Thompson twin, point of attack defender.
Okay.
Cavs, point of attack defender.
The big man.
Mobley. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Mobley.
Warriors, POA defender.
Draymond.
Butler.
And
That's actually a good
Draymond.
one too, though.
Draymond is the only one that
Now
played
Jimmy
like
there.
NBA
Now
back
Jimmy
Jimmy
there.
and Draymond, that's actually a good
Yeah.
one. Celtics, POA defender.
Shit.
No, not Tatum, the other dude.
Drew.
Brown.
Yeah, he's
Brown
Robert.
photo, but it's Drew. Drew will be
Okay.
POA for him.
Well, Drew played a
Timberwolves.
huge part.
Timberwolves.
They did too much switching. I ain't even pay attention this year.
Yeah.
It's either McDaniels or what you call
Yeah,
it.
I forgot about McDaniels. Yeah. Am I
But
lagging on
But
your
that's
screen?
what I'm saying. All these teams, they have somebody who's an anchor on their defense, and they
Listen,
have a system
I
around
will.
the anchor.
I will give you Draymond Green because he's the only one out there that plays the way that they played back in the day, and
Yeah,
that's
he
what I
Hear
right.
me
love
He
out.
about
giving
him.
them the
Hear
ball.
me out.
And you see why he got all those fines
He
now.
got
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Hey, it's
Y'all gotta
it's a
release
physical
me.
game. Go ahead,
Release
Polo.
me. Pass the wire. Release me, cause no locked doors. Man, Pop. Them folks was trash, Pop. I understand
They
what you
wasn't
grew
defending.
up watching.
They
I
wasn't
understand it was all this and that. They look, evolution and change, man.
You sound like
Yeah,
me when you say that, because I be saying the same thing.
it has, and it's
They
made
don't just have cow milk no more. They got almond milk, Pop.
weaker. It's made them weaker and softer
Hey, you
players.
funny.
But how though, Dad? How has it made them
They don't
weaker?
have cow milk no more, Pop. They got almond
Because
milk. Hear me out when
Wait,
I'm
hold
talking
on.
to you.
I gotta hear this though. How does it make, in your opinion, that how does it make them weaker versus being
Because
just more?
they ain't as physical as they used to be.
Now let
It
him
ain't
talk.
That's
Let him
what he
talk.
about to say.
Let him talk.
Everybody wants to be friends with everybody, and I get that. That's cool.
We making
But
over
there
$1 million
needs to
some
be
dollars a
there
night.
needs,
Why we gotta
there
be?
needs to be okay. Why can't there still be some rivalry there?
It's still some
Why can't
rivalries,
there
Dad.
still be
It's
that?
still some
No, it's
rivalry.
not. No,
It
it's
is
not.
indeed still some rivalry.
Bob,
These
Heat,
guys
Heat
after the game
Celtics
they
is a
broke apart.
rivalry right now. Heat Celtics is a rivalry right now.
trash too.
Heat, shoot, Bucks and Pistons.
You'll
Bucks
see
and
them boys. You'll see
Bucks
them
and
boys.
Pacers.
You'll see them boys at the
Bucks and
club
Pacers.
after their game
But I'm saying
in the
No.
no.
same club. These
Bucks
players
and
back
Pacers.
then couldn't go to the club with each other.
You
They
Listen,
know
might
bro.
the type
fight.
of
It's
the type of
rivalries,
rivalry
bro.
I want to see. You know the type of rivalry I want to see.
Please don't
when
say that.
Allen Iverson go down and dunk on your boy, and he falls on the floor, and Allen Iverson walks over him and looks at him while he steps over him.
He shook him.
You
He shook
still
him and
got
shot a
that.
three.
Y'all
He
just
didn't dunk on
I'm
him.
gonna be honest.
He did dunk on Tim
Okay,
Duncan though.
I'm gonna be honest though.
I watched it.
I'm gonna be honest though, Pop. That's not so much as the league being soft as to me the NBA
so
media
why are the
is being
ratings down?
pushed the wrong way.
Help me understand why the NBA ratings are down now.
That's not
Because
because if you want to watch
no
that, go watch hockey, Pop. Go watch hockey.
no.
I
This is
want.
why.
Hockey's much
No,
more
It's hard.
no.
It's hard to
This
watch
is
the
why.
games now, though.
Hold on, Els. This is why the NBA ratings are bad because the NBA does not flex their schedule. That is why their ratings are bad.
No,
The
sir, son, I'm sorry.
76ers, the
I disagree
76ers, who
with you.
are one of the worst teams in basketball this year, had 20-something nationally televised games before the season started. The
I
the
disagree with you,
Spurs, who
son.
at one point in time one of the hottest teams in basketball, had 5.
I
That
disagree
is
with
why their
you.
ratings are so bad. The
I
games
disagree
aren't
with you.
easily accessible.
Yeah,
I
it's hard to
disagree
find the
with
games.
you.
Even
Now,
when
now,
you
now,
got
now,
league,
now
even
that's
when you got
understandable
league
too.
pass,
But hear
you
me
got
out. What I'm
league
about to
pass,
say,
but still
Pop.
can't
Hear me out. What I'm about to
watch the
say.
game.
When it comes down to the analogy that you made up by almond milk and cow milk, everything ain't the same as what you used to see. You got
Polo,
evolution.
let me help you understand something, Polo. I can't drink either one. I'm lactose intolerant.
But that's
You
what I'm
can't
saying
with
though, y'all.
almond milk. That's
Yeah, I
the
was about
whole
to say
reason
you
they
can drink
made it.
almond milk.
You drink
But
almond
Pop,
milk.
though, the NBA
They even make
ratings
ice
though
cream for you.
the
Please
NBA
do.
ratings are strictly the NBA's fault though. That if I'm being honest, the NBA's
You
ratings is
got,
strictly the
I'm not disagreeing with that. Everybody has to take ownership, but you cannot allow the players to not take responsibility as well.
But at the same time, you know how interesting it was to watch players fight on live TV. And you know, back then the difference was the fines was number $500 because they weren't getting paid nothing but a normal
Oh
salary.
no, they weren't. No, they weren't. They weren't
The fines
500.
wasn't that high. Not as
They
high
were.
as
I
they.
mean,
This man
they
just
were
got
comparable. They were
fined
comparable to the salary,
75,000.
but they were comparable to the salaries, no different than they are today. They're making more money, so they can pay
Yeah,
more
yeah.
of
The
their
price
guys.
of living was totally different, but this man just got fined 75,000 and ain't throw a punch.
Did you just say something to me about the
Yeah, for
evolution of the
doing it
game?
right here, now, Pop.
The evolution of the game doesn't change financially either.
It changed financially. It
Yeah.
definitely changed financially. It changed financially. But
Yeah.
talent wise is the difference. You had
But
players.
you guys are probably going to disagree with me on this, and this goat debate between LeBron and Jordan.
Woo, don't you do it.
Let me say this.
Oh, shit, man.
LeBron is a great player. Nobody can take anything from him. LeBron's a great player because he's your generation. Jordan is a great player because he's my generation. So
Man,
the problem I have is when you're pitting these two against each other, and it's the media who's doing it. They are both great players in their own right. Man, come on, LeBron has played how many years in
a
the
lot.
NBA? I mean, come on, man. But then I mean, you can't take anything from Jordan. You on mute, Polo.
Nah, he on mute on purpose.
Oh, you can't take nothing away from Jordan playing in his era either, man. So that's the problem I have. Both players are great, and every player has the era that they were great in. Bill Russell was great in his era. 11 rings. No team, nobody has ever done that, even to this day.
Uh, I think you know
Pop,
what
you
it is,
ready?
that, and I'm glad to
Pop,
hear you. I'm
Pop,
glad
you
to hear
ready?
you say that. But what
I'm ready.
irritates me about the GOAT debate is I think people get so stuck in their ways that they're not willing to introduce new candidates to this debate when there are new candidates sitting right in front of people.
Well, son,
That's
I don't think it's about the candidates. I think you have to differentiate. We just finished a discussion about how the NBA has changed from my era to your era. So you have to be able to differentiate the GOAT from one era to the next because every era evolves.
okay.
Every era. If you
I
go
like you
back and
said
you look
that.
at you look at the way they played in the '60s, they played differently in the '80s.
They passed the ball
You
like
know,
this.
Max,
Kyrie
but
Kyrie
you
would have
know,
Kyrie would
you
have got his
go
fingers
go
cut
back.
off.
I want you
He would have
guys to
been.
do me a
He
favor.
would.
I
That
want
would
you
have
guys to
been.
do me a favor. Go
Go ahead.
back and look up Pistol Pete Maravich.
Oh yeah.
Look at
Ooh.
the way he played. Magic Johnson
He from
mimicked
Mississippi
his
too.
game. Yes, Magic mimicked his game after Pistol Pete, but Magic brought it to a different era. So how you cannot you
Jay, we need our
cannot take away you can't
Huh?
take away the effort that anybody gave for their era to be as great as they were in their era.
we need the Polo and
So
Pop show. I like this man. I like his
Talking about the
mindset.
Polo and Pop
I
show.
like him, man. I like what he said. But same
Also, I was gonna say too, real quick. We were talking about the national TV schedule. The NBA had no nationally televised game today,
you
and
know
the
why?
Thunder, but the Thunder
Because
and
it's
Lakers
about
played.
money.
But
It's
I'm just
about
saying,
money,
the
man.
Thunder and Lakers just played today. Those are two top teams. The Nuggets and Pacers are in a close game right now. That's
hey,
what I'm
I
saying.
just seen that.
back to that. The names you was naming, Pistol Pete Maravich. You got people that comes every now and then in which you know that what I'm saying is not a lie. You got players that come every now and then and they're called generational talents. Pistol
That
Mhm.
Pete,
word's
he's
too
one
loose.
of them. Bill Russell, he's one of them. To me, I think Wilt Chamberlain was better than him because if you go
I
back to the
agree.
NBA
I agree.
before a lot of stats took place,
I agree.
if anybody was able to look at, I'm talking about even back from the magnificent GOAT, the dude that was jumping over cars before a lot of
Yeah.
people was able to see. You had to go to Rucker Park in order to watch him play.
Yeah.
It wasn't no camera. Word of mouth
And,
traveled way more back then.
and
I'm gonna
Kareem
be
only
honest.
lost. Well, listen, wait.
But
Kareem played in college, and he only lost 2 games his entire 4 years of college.
I'm glad you brought Kareem up. Kareem is the
The
biggest
number one
victim of,
basketball player ever in college.
Yeah.
in my opinion, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the biggest victim of the way stats were counted than anyone else. Because
But
because
Wilt,
when his first few years in the league, they didn't count blocks and steals as stats.
right,
So
right.
he is the biggest victim of stats not being counted out of anybody.
It's called
Mm.
stat
I say
killing,
Wilt,
son.
because
I
they
It's
don't
say
even
called
Wilt.
think
stat killing.
the reason
They
I don't
say
think Wilt,
they say Will dropped 100 points and you ain't got one video
man, Wilt
log,
ain't
no
do that,
nothing.
man. Wilt ain't do that.
He, he, he,
Who ain't do it?
he,
Jay, you crazy.
Wilt didn't
he
do that,
did
man.
it. He did it, son. He did it, but you got to look at the caliber of players that Wilt was playing against too. I
Yeah.
mean, come on, man. Wilt
I
was the
was
most
about to get
average
to
player
that point
on that.
too. Pops, I was about to get to that point too when folks go to talk about the GOAT situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now
I wanted to say something about
don't
that
be
too.
contradicting what you about to say when I'm about to lay this out here on the table.
go
Hold on,
ahead.
before you get too deep in that, all I'm gonna say is Wilt was a 51% free throw shooter for his career, correct?
They
You
probably
mean
ain't have no free throw line
no,
when
no,
he
no.
first started
Oh,
playing.
listen. You mean to tell me that one night in history, Wilt Chamberlain shot 88% from the free throw line? You a liar. And I know the truth ain't. Wilt was a
Jay,
51%
first of all,
shooter.
the man wasn't a normal human being.
I don't care. You're not going from 51 to
7 foot
almost 90.
dude running a 4.40. I'm talking about get 100. Man,
Hold on. Hold on.
no, I
He
don't
made 20.
listen, bro.
So
Hear
you mean
me.
you believe he made 28 free throws in one night?
Yep.
Man,
I
please.
believe it.
Go ahead, Polo. Go ahead, Polo.
So,
Go ahead.
so it was 1962. They were playing the Knicks. He scored 100 points in that game against the Knicks. It was March the 2nd, 1962. They got, if you look up Will's stat, they got a stat sheet there that's showing you all of the stats.
I'm looking at it right now.
And what does that stat sheet say, son? How
Um,
many points were free throws?
he had 28 points on free throws.
Hmm.
And that's just 28 points.
And he had how many field goals
Pass
did
the
he have?
ball to Will.
He shot 63 shots
I
that
was
night.
gonna say he had to take about like 60. That's crazy.
Yep, 63 shots.
Somebody on his team had 20 assists that night, y'all.
That man was a
And,
superhero.
and that's who was feeding it to him all night long.
Feed the beast. Now keep in mind when I go to talking about talent and evolution, the people he played against, average height was 5'10".
Right. But that's why I say, Polo, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're about to say. That's why I say you have to look at the caliber of players that Wilt was playing against. Wilt was one
Jordan
of the
played against
smallest.
plumbers.
Wait.
Yeah, let's go. That's why I'm walking into this. Jordan played against
Let's go
people that
back.
had to have a 9 to 5.
No. You go back and look at the Bad Boys of Detroit. You go
We're
back and
not
look at
talking about the bad boys. Because
But you said that you
oh
said
wait,
he
wait a
played
minute,
against
wait a
plumbers.
minute, wait. We're not
Man,
talking about
tell me
them.
who those plumbers. Tell me who those plumbers are.
You go look it up. I ain't got to.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. This all I'm gonna say. Jordan
I
might
love
not
you
have
so,
per se
Logan.
played against plumbers, but he played against some scrubs. Dog,
He know.
at
Hear me
his
out. Hear me
position.
out. Hear me out.
Name,
Hear me out.
name the
Hear me out.
scrubs. Give me the
Now,
scrubs.
you
Right.
do have some good names. Most of the time, when Jordan first got in the league, the big names he went up against, he failed tremendously. He
Oh
failed
yeah,
against. He failed. He
you
failed
know when
against.
Jordan you know when Jordan in Chicago got their stride when Scottie Pippen became a Bulls.
Thank you.
Go back and look at it.
And they weren't able to get over the hump until they got this curly headed dude that was changing his hairstyle and wearing
Absolutely.
wigs and marrying himself and marrying Madonna and going to be on WWE
Hey,
or
hold on,
WWE.
hold on.
Dennis
They won
Rodman,
now.
he was the first
Now,
person that had a
that,
super
that,
team.
now that was the peak. That was the peak of that team. I'm not gonna lie. That was the peak of that team. But they did win 3 wins before that. But that was the peak. That was the peak when they got
Jay, he
Ron
was at the
Harper
hospital
and
around this time with you.
when they
So you
got
don't know
that
what
was
we
the
talking
peak though.
about.
No. I can't let you defraud the first 3 years. Now the last three-peat was the better of the two. I will say that 100%. Like that was one of the best teams in NBA history if you're looking at it from top to bottom.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is this: he went up against a lot of people, fell short on his face. When he went up against the old Kareem, the Lakers team, he finally beat. A lot of people he beat is when they was at the end of their standpoint. Only
He
reason
beat
I'm
Patrick
saying that was
Waves.
because of this. Hear me out. The amount of talent always comes into play. What
Yeah.
Jordan team would have been able to beat that Golden State Warriors team when you said, hey, it's points. Points are the thing now that
Right.
win the game, right? It used to be defense win championships. But the whole five can shoot threes, man.
They would have put up.
The
Yeah,
whole
you got a good
five.
point. You
What
got a
They
Jordan
good
would
was.
have.
point there.
I'm gonna be honest. They would
The
have
score would have been 130 to
Keep
86.
this in mind, too. It
the
was a
team would have been so
penalty.
screwed up.
It was a
Yeah.
No,
penalty if you double team them
hell,
back then.
it wouldn't have been that much. You know why it wouldn't have been that much?
All right, here we go.
Because
They
those
would have hurt
Chicago
Curry.
Bulls, those Chicago
Curry
They're
Bulls.
not
still
getting a
up.
hand on Curry. They're not touching Curry. Y'all see how much Steph Curry move?
Nah, Jay, they would
They're
have
not
touched that
touching
boy.
Steph. They
Did
would
you
not
hear
have
what
touched
Shaq
Steph.
said? Shaq said,
They wouldn't have
I'm not
touched
worried
Steph.
about nothing. Because we're going to force you off that three-point line.
They're
As
not
soon as
gonna
you
force
come
you
in,
off
I'm
the
going to
3 point
touch you
line.
up.
I don't care. You're not forcing
I'm
that
going to touch
team
you
off
up.
that team. You're not forcing them off the 3 point line.
You ain't got to force
I
the
don't
whole
care. You're
team.
not
Yeah, you
Force
forcing.
got to
one
force
person
it.
and everybody will
That's it.
fall.
That's it.
Clay
Push them
Thompson
up.
scored 60 with 3 dribbles. You're not forcing that team off the 3 point line.
Hurt one player,
Have
that's
y'all
all you
seen
got to worry
Elevator
about.
Doors? Els, you know, have y'all ever watched the play Elevator Doors?
Oh
Nah, I
Y'all,
yeah.
ever-
never watched it.
y'all ever seen the play Elevator Doors? Go,
Yeah.
hold on. Go. I'm gonna show y'all after the show. I'm gonna show y'all Elevator Doors, and you tell me who's finna chase Steph Curry for 48 minutes.
I probably can pull it up. Hold on and screen
I
share.
can't. No. You can't screen share though. We get copyrighted. That's what
Oh,
I'll
okay,
show y'all
okay.
after.
Hear me out. Hear me out. We done had another player that was just like that way before Steph Curry. You ready for this name? I don't know if you're a big fan of them. It was my favorite team, Richard Hamilton. He was the same type of player.
Oh
And
yeah.
shoot
Oh yeah.
threes. Richard
Rip was
Hamilton,
not Steph
you
though.
man, you quite.
Rip was not Steph.
You said
Let
what?
me move my mic. Let me move my mic.
Rip compares closer to Klay Thompson than he does to Steph Curry.
No.
I
Because
didn't even wait. I thought Rip
Rip
wasn't
has
even a
never
3-point shooter. I thought he was like mid range.
Rip was a mid-range shooter, but
he was mid-range and
Steph
three.
don't play no defense, bro. And I'm not. I don't want to be that guy.
Oh, now
But
you admit it?
Steph
Now you
not.
Oh,
admit
let
that
me
I've
Steph
never
calm
doesn't
down.
said
know how to
Steph
play?
played defense. I've never. You can ask Els for years. I have
I
always
can't
said
take this
Steph
no
Curry
more.
don't play no defense.
This might be
Steph
my
Curry has never.
last show of this stuff.
Steph Curry has never
You
played
crazy,
defense.
man.
You're not finna sit here and act like he's not who we attack on defense. The same way people hunt Luka, they hunt Steph Curry on defense. And you,
And to me, you guys probably not gonna like this. Luca hadn't he don't do it for me.
I
He
don't know
don't do
why
it
he
for me.
don't do it for you. Pop, you
He's
tripping?
not consistent. He's not consistent.
What?
He
Okay,
has
look.
he has
Hold
his
on,
up and down nights.
Look. Can we take like 2 steps back though? The reason I think that Warriors team from 17, what is this, 17 to 18 would beat that 96 Bulls team is because offensively they match up horrible against some like defense to offense. Because yeah, you're gonna and Dennis Rodman will be virtually unplayable in that series.
No. No, he
Dennis Rodman
wouldn't.
would be because you
That
got to
was
think about it.
listen. Dennis Rodman would take Draymond Green out of the game, and once he's
You didn't
gone,
have to
you don't
have
have no defense.
Draymond in
You
the
don't have to
game.
have
You don't
Draymond
have
in
no
the game.
No,
defense.
didn't.
You
You
didn't have
didn't.
to have Draymond in the
The
game. You
problem,
still
the
got
problem
Steph
is
and
gonna be
Clay.
Look,
that
man,
they're gonna.
the
You
one.
know what the
Why y'all
problem
think
gonna
they
be?
call him the one?
You know what the problem is gonna be? There, because that 17 Warriors team had Zaza and Boogie playing center. You're gonna Boogie Zaza. You're gonna anchor the paint right here. You stand there the whole time, put a hand up when they drive, and play defense. They're
Check me
going to
out, Jay.
leave. They're going to leave Dennis Rodman
No,
wide
if
open.
they
Check
put
me
their
out, Jay.
look,
Check me
if
out,
they
Jay. It was a penalty. I mean, not penalty. It was called. It was a foul if you didn't play defense close to your man back then. It wasn't no double teams back then. It wasn't no zones really being played until they changed the way everything was going when it came down to the NBA. That's the reason why I say a lot of those people back then talking about, oh, we was more physical. Oh, we was this. No, y'all just ain't have enough skill that these young kids got. You
oh
got
my
kids.
goodness,
And
You
pop,
got
and
you
I'm
know
gonna
who
no.
be
you
Hear me
honest.
sound
out.
like.
Hear
You
me
know
out.
who you
You
sound like.
got people. You got people
You know
right
who you
now.
sound like. Polo, you know who you sound like now,
Who?
right?
Who?
Ant-Man. Ant-Man said the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like, come
You
on,
got
dude.
You got people right now. You got
You
people
putting
right
all the
now.
camera.
You got
And you know
people
what
right
Shaq
now
told him?
that's
You know
like
what Shaq
third tier
told him?
basketball players that would have been all stars back in their time.
I agree with that. And
You
I'm gonna
got
go.
third tier basketball. And then the thing about the media standpoint back then, the media standpoint, if it wasn't Jordan or a big name, they was gonna poop on these players. That's the best way I can put it. You got players that they
You got a
blackballed
point,
out
bro.
the league,
You got a
bro.
point. You
And
got a
and
point.
far as
You got a point.
Pops, I know
I
you're gonna
watched
hate this
Grant
one.
Hill murder Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Nah.
Straight murder him.
Pops, I know you probably gonna hate this one, but I feel like in today's basketball, I feel like, and we said this a few times, Jerry. I feel like we've seen a few Michael Jordans, skill
Thank
wise,
Oh yeah,
you.
Please,
skill wise.
please
skill wise.
identify them.
You know what
Identify
Michael
them.
would have did if he
I'll
would have
agree
put the
with. I'll
Warriors
agree
team?
with you.
Michael would have came out there,
DeMar DeRozan.
tried to shoot threes, and fell on his face horribly. Soon as they shrink the paint, against Michael, and soon as they played the double team on Michael, he would have started trying to shoot threes, and he was going to miss them, and then he was going to look at Scottie Pippen to save him, and they was going to lose terribly, probably 3-2. I mean 4-2. It would have
I'm
never
gonna be
happened.
honest. And then before
You
we,
know
because
what? You know
we got
what's
to get ready to
sad.
wrap up. Last thoughts
You
from
know what's
everybody.
sad. You know what's sad here? Each one of y'all actually believe what you said.
Anyway, Polo, last words, because I got one last thing that we get out of here because we running
I
close.
ain't done. I'm not done. I
We
don't
can
want
talk
to talk.
after because we're running close.
Me and Poppy we gotta have a part 2 because I'm not liking this, man. But the whole thing was this.
I'm open for it, bro.
The whole thing was this. Since we bringing up like, different genres or whatever, LeBron James. That's all I gotta say. LeBron James. Now, was Michael Jordan a better player? Possibly. But when we talk about the greatest player, LeBron James.
Els, any last words, Els?
Go Gators, man! About to bring this home, bro.
Pop?
Man, no, man. I have enjoyed myself, man. Hey, y'all, Polo, you're right. We need a part 2 to this. But I love you guys, man. I'm a big fan of what y'all doing. Jared will tell y'all I'm supporting y'all, man. I'm rooting for y'all. I'm looking for the day that he calls me and tell me y'all gone mainstream. So keep doing what y'all doing, bro. I'm so proud of each and every one of you.
Appreciate it, Pop.
Man,
No,
I
appreciate you. Appreciate you because we're gonna leave that alone. It wouldn't be Jay here, you feel me?
For sure.
I will say this though. I know we're talking about that 96 Bulls thing. The only thing I would say about that 96 Bulls versus 17 Warriors, a lot of guys on that 96 Bulls team, especially in this day, would be very unplayable. And that's kind of where the matchup, they would have a lot of matchup problems. And that's kind of why I leave it at. Because like every center on that Bulls team would be virtually unplayable. They would have to run Rodman at the 5 and move their whole lineup up. Go ahead, Polo.
Before we get off, let's do one thing. Let's do homework real quick for the next show. And this will be the homework.
All right.
We go watch. L, listen up. You
I'm
over there losing. I know you can't pause the game. You on live.
Oh no, I'm looking at elevator doors.
Hear me out. This will be the homework. We're gonna go watch. If we can't catch the whole series of them winning that championship, both teams, at least watch a few games, and I want everybody's perspective on what they think. Because after you watch things, you look at things from a totally different perspective. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
straight up, from matchups to what score you think it would be, and tell me the reason why you think that score would transpire. Because I feel like if Pop go watch that, he gonna have a little change of mind. Because they only used to shoot 23s probably between both teams tonight. You got one team shooting 23s in one half. You hear me?
I got you.
So the last great defensive team was the Pistons team with Chauncey Billups, Treshawn Prince, hold people to the 80-point mark,
And I got an
75.
unpopular opinion about that team that people hated me for.
What was that? Please don't say nothing crazy, Jay.
And I hate to be that guy. I feel like that '04 Pistons team will give that 17 Warriors team a harder test than that '96 Bulls team. Strictly off
We
of
can
how they match
agree.
up.
We can agree.
Strictly off of
We
how
can
they match up.
agree. We can
That's
agree.
I
the
can
that,
agree with that.
and that's the one thing I've always stood behind that because I guess because Ben Wallace is like one of my favorite players
Six
of
foot
all
eight.
time.
6'8".
He's he's one of my favorite players of all time. So that's why I looked at that team and the way that team. And I just kind of say this and let it go. The way that team played, they match up better. They wouldn't beat the 17 Warriors,
Yes,
but
they
I
would.
think it'll be a
Yes,
closer
they would.
series. I can't, man. It's hard for me to say
Yes,
that
they would.
because it's gonna be the end of the game that get them. It's gonna be the end of the game because at the end of the
They
game,
wouldn't have made it that far.
it's gonna be difficult. But yeah, that's all I gotta
They
say. But
they
man,
would.
thank y'all. Thank y'all for showing up, man. Pops, we got to get you back on, man. We appreciate you
No,
for
for sure.
showing up.
Yeah,
When
man. I
we get off
appreciate
air, I'm
you
gonna
guys.
show these guys elevator doors, and we gonna talk about it some more. But man, we here every Wednesday, and
Every
trying to get more on Sundays. Polo been working like a madman. So man,
you see
I'm
my
your
Make that
host.
money,
working
Polo.
this
Do what
out.
you gotta do, baby. Do what you
I'm your
gotta do.
host Jay. We got Elroy, we got Pops, we got my pimpin' player partner, Mr. Polo, and man, we out of here.